All right, Dan. Netanyahu, as he crossed a line last night, he said, not for the first time, but pretty strongly, that we're going to go in and we are going to have a military occupation of all of Gaza.
To occupy all of Gaza would involve administration over 2 million people or more. This is not something Israel, as a country of 10 million people with an army that's exhausted, is particularly well equipped to do. Not only because it's going to involve a total insurgency, but you have to look at the nature of the Palestinian population. Half of the people there are kids under 17 who are impoverished, radicalized, desperate, and many of them have grown up hating Israel. Every child can be given 10 shekels and turned into a terrorist. The military doesn't want to deal with this, and therefore, whatever he said last night, I'm very doubtful that will become Israel's strategy in the long term.
Ruth, did you agree with Dan on this?
Well, first of all, it's not clear that Netanyahu said it. What we know, and all the reporters quoted it, is that sources in his office said it. He has not acknowledged it. He hasn't denied it, but he has not said that that's true. So it's possible that it's some kind of trial balloon. Let's put it that way. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I have a feeling, as we've seen throughout this war in the last almost 2 years, that every time it seemed like nothing was going on, or we didn't know, or it was total chaos, some amazing operation took place. So I am at the moment waiting to see what's going to happen. As for whether it's very possible that there is no other choice.
There are legitimate divergences about how best to handle a very complex and very dangerous situation. Let me just say, I agree with Ruti that it's quite possible that this is a trial balloon or an attempt to threaten Hamas. I would caution, from years of following Hamas and some knowledge about the inside situation in that highly diabolical organization, it may not scare them to contemplate an Israeli occupation of all of Gaza, because that's bad for Israel and helps them. What they want is eternal war with Israel, where they can wage a war on their terms, which is an insurgency. That is what they want. If Israel does this, what's being discussed, and occupies all the Gaza Strip and embroils itself in daily management of 2 million people, some of whom are armed people, some of whom tomorrow will be children who have been armed or given explosives or whatever, that is good for Hamas.
We tried hostage deals. We tried this, we tried that, we tried the other thing. Now we're at this crossroads. And I don't believe it'll be possible to completely defeat Hamas without taking that kind of military occupation.
Look, this is why I say it's important to define the terms. You speak of occupying Gaza. Israel has occupied much of Gaza.
75% they're saying around.
And the rest of it is just a matter of choice. Do you want to take over the entire population? You speak of defeating Hamas. Israel, by any measure, has defeated Hamas. They have thrashed Hamas. But if you define your terms in a way that renders the goals impossible to achieve, then you snatch defeat for Israel from the jaws of victory. Israel's insistence on defining its own terms of victory a certain way may make that victory unattainable without a very high price.
So
at the very least, the price will be the sacrificing of the hostages.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What does it mean for them? That's the answer.